Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So for today's video, we are creating the main characters and love interests of the novel Gothikana. We are creating Corvina and Vad, who are the characters of a dark academia, suspenseful romance mystery novel. There's a little bit of spice, there's a murder mystery, and it's all surrounding a school, a university, not like a high school or anything. It's a university. So we're starting off here with Corvina, who is the direct opposite of Vad in terms of looks. She's very short, curvy, delicate features, and he's very strong, angular, powerful features. I really wanted to capture this aspect of Corvina was the delicateness, which was hard. I kind of play around with her makeup and start off giving her a bold look, and then I go back and change it, and then I had to make adjustments to her nose because I originally liked the nose that I had on her. It was cute, it was like button nose, but it didn't fit with the nose ring, which is a staple for her, and important for her character. So I had to go back and change the nose and still try to find that delicate, cute button nose kind of look. So another important aspect about Corvina is her purple eyes, which you see me give her. I changed them. So I do the default eyes, but then once I do her makeup, I add the non-default eyes in the face paint category. And like I said, I start off with a bold look. Didn't think it fits her. She's very whimsical, like running through the forest, hippie kind of vibe. And so I end up changing it. I wanted it to still look like she has makeup because she does wear makeup, while also being kind of natural-ish. So I just do eyeliner, a natural-ish blush, and lipstick, which is the only thing that is kind of like out there for her. She tends to match her lips with bold colors to her skirts that she wears, which you'll see me do in this video. The blush was just an added effect for dimension on her face. It wasn't so much I wanted it to be like a natural blush because I wanted to make it seem like she had naturally rosy cheeks. So we do a brown lip because we end up doing a brown skirt. Her color palette is usually like fall colors, like purples, reds, like dark purples, reds, browns, blacks, stuff like that. Think exactly that, fall. So here's where you see me. Oh, one thing I did miss the mark on, and I didn't realize it until after I was done filming and went back and looked, is her earrings. So I give her multiple earrings, which I do see Corvina having. However, I missed the mark of giving her dangly earrings, which is mentioned in the book a multiple of times. And it was just a small detail that I missed, but I was very upset that I missed it, because a lot of the things that Corvina does are repetitive. And the dangly earrings is that she usually made her own earrings and stuff, so it was kind of upsetting. She is wearing hoops with this earring stack that I gave her, but they weren't those dangly earrings that you would typically picture. So the earrings, the nose ring, the lipstick, the eyes. She wears a ribbon choker. She usually stacks them with other things, but the ribbon choker is a must. She puts it on every outfit. And then she also wears a bracelet that her mother made her, which I also put on. I do change it a few times, and settle on one completely different than the one that I was originally going to give her. But overall, I think I capture most of the elements for Corvina. The thing with Corvina, she's just, like I stated before, I think I've re-recorded this voiceover a few different times, but she's very sheltered. She was raised by just her mother. Her father passed, and so she didn't really have any interaction with anybody before going off to this school. You'll see that in the traits I give her, which I'll explain more on when we get there. and the aspiration and stuff. But a lot of the elements that I added, I wanted like her eyelashes not to be too long and bold, but also like I wanted them to be full, if that makes sense. Like I didn't want them to look like falsies, but I wanted them to look full and natural. I just wanted her to be a very almost minimalistic kind of vibe for her. Another thing about Corvina that's very staple for her is her long black hair, which I do end up giving her. I go and fix her body and adjust her body a little bit, and then I add her hair. But Corvina's hair is really long and black. It's mentioned that I believe it goes past her waist, and it's mentioned in the book multiple times because it's part of the reason, or it's part of how she thinks people view her in terms of like first interactions and stuff like that. And it plays a role of how she's introduced to Vlad, well, how their characters are first introduced together. So one thing that took me a while for Corvina was picking a necklace, and ultimately the necklace I settled on wasn't exactly the ribbon aspect I was going for, but I felt like it kind of looked like a ribbon, just in a weird way. Like the band of it looked like a ribbon, the choker band of it looked like a ribbon. I just wish it had the tie aspect of it, but I couldn't find one that I liked, so I settled on this one. And then I didn't give her any tattoos because it doesn't mention her having tattoos. I did give her like light freckles. I just felt like, and she had tan skin, I gave her light freckles because I felt like that was something that would have been a thing for her. I don't remember if it was mentioned, if you want me to be honest. Her nails being painted wasn't mentioned either that I'm aware of. It could have been like once, but I don't remember. Because it would have been early on in the book, and so I just painted them black as well as her toes. And then you see me add tights on, but she only wears tights with one outfit, and that I recall, and I wasn't doing that outfit, so I took them off. So the skirt that I put on her now is, I wanted to make that skirt work so bad because I felt like it fit her as a character in the novel, but I just couldn't find anything that went well with it. She tended to wear thigh-high boots all the time because it was colder. The school was set on a mountain, so she wore thigh-high boots. And then like finding a shirt, the outfit just wasn't coming together the way I wanted it to. So I ended up changing the skirt, and although I do see Corvina in that skirt at some point, I just couldn't find an outfit that I liked with it. She never wore pants. I think she only wore, the very first time that you're introduced to Corvina, when she's going to the school, she's wearing pants, and that's the only pair of pants that she owns, and it's specifically stated in the book those are the only pants she owns. And she bought them specifically to travel in, like travel distances in. Another element that I thought was really cool about the book is that it doesn't mention like actual places in the US or any other country, but it mentions historical events briefly. So I thought that was kind of a cool aspect to add to this novel. So it kind of lets the reader relate to the character in terms of things that they learned, but also like they get to paint their own picture of what things look like. Corvina was also known for wearing cardigans, and I try to add that cardigan element, which you see me do ultimately in the end of her character, like making her character. I do add a cardigan, but it ends up getting taken off, and you'll see that in the thumbnail just because it was clipping like really bad with the posing for the thumbnail. So it ends up getting taken off. But when Corvina meets her friend group, they get to know her based on her eyes and her cardigan because they matched. So I thought it would be a cool element to incorporate, but all in all, I couldn't get it to work the way I wanted, so I ended up taking it off. Maybe I'll add it for another outfit if I decide to play with them some more, or I do some more videos with them, but we'll see. So the outfit, that basically what you see now is how her outfit ends up being after I take off the cardigan, and I think it's really cute. I think it's very her. I just think it's more of a summer type vibe for her, but it's fine. I do take off I was gonna add a corset, but I ended up taking it off because it made it seem more edgy instead of that whimsical kind of vibe that I was going for. So I ended up taking that off too. I do think she probably would have worn a corset, that very cottagecore kind of corset vibes, but that particular corset that I put on her was just too edgy, and I didn't think that this outfit really technically needed it after seeing that one. So yeah, we're finishing up. I'm adding a little bit of finishing touches. I'm looking for the corset or even a shawl. She was known for wearing shawls too, in the winter. Well, not the winter, but in the colder weather. But I couldn't find really anything after the one cardigan, and even, like I said, even then, the one cardigan gets taken off anyway. So we only have a few more minutes left of Corvina, and we're going to be moving into her aspirations and her traits. For her aspiration and traits, I give her the soulmate trait, because Corvina, one thing that she did when she was younger was check out romance novels from the local library, and she would read them when her mom would go to sleep, and she hoped that she would find a love like that she would read in her novels. So I felt like the romance, or the soulmate aspiration, was perfect for her. For traits, I ended up giving her family oriented because she was really close with her mom. I ended up giving her a bookworm because she loved to read. She was constantly checking out books, even from the school library. I gave her the paranoid trait, and that's because it relates to her family history and with mental illness and stuff. I gave her the socially awkward because she's very shy and doesn't talk too much, even with her friends. And then I gave her the night owl trait because she does tend to go out at night a lot, especially when meeting Vad. So now we're moving on to Vad, who I picture a vampire, the most cliche vampire, old style vampire you could think of. Pale skin, strong angular features, very mysterious and dark, and the aura's just, yeah. He holds a lot of secrets. I think there's a slight age gap in them. Corvina is 21 or 22, and I think Vad is in his late 20s, early 30s. He is a student, he's a graduate student, and he is a teacher. So, yeah, that, I feel like there is a slight age gap, but just not a big jump, you know? So the parts that I struggled with for Vad were doing his side profile, was getting those strong features to show in his side profile, and finding the hair for him. Finding the hair was so hard. Okay, so like I said, I almost started over because I couldn't get the side profile the way I wanted it to, but then ultimately I just figured it out. I sat for a little bit, took a little bit of a break, figured it out. All in all, it took me for both characters, it took me 3 hours, an hour and a half each, with not including the breaks that I took. So you see that he has white in his eyebrows. The reason why he has white and he'll have white in his hair is because one of Vad's characteristics that he's known for is the fact that he has a salt and pepper kind of look. He has his hair is black, but he has streaks of white growing in, and he also has really silver eyes, not so much hazel, but silver eyes. Sometimes they get dark, she mentions a lot with Corvina, and when it's in the spicy scenes, they grow into like a dark mercury kind of gray, like that stormy gray, but most of the time they're that silver look. I give him stubble because I'm pretty sure it's mentioned in a few scenes of the book that Corvina notices stubble on him. So I give him like just a slight little bit of stubble, nothing too much. It was hard for me to find the facial hair because I didn't have one that I like particularly liked. I settled on one, but I wasn't really set on keeping it. And then ultimately, once I got him into live mode, I was okay with it, with the way it looked. Finding the hair was probably the hardest part for me. Like, it was super hard to find the hair to be able to do the white streaks. I tried Maxis Match, and I was really dead set on doing Maxis Match because I thought that was going to be the only way that I could do it, and it still just was not coming for me. Then I end up going back to the simplicity hair that you see on now, well, that you just previously saw, and because I found some like simplicity hair colors, hair streaks that I was able to make work. But it took me a while to find a hair. Most of my time for Vad making his character was spent on his hair and his jawline. Those were the two elements that really took me the longest. I gave him ear piercings because I thought it just kind of fit his character. It's not mentioned if he has his ears pierced, but I thought it just kind of was a cool add-on. I gave him a necklace too, but I ended up taking that off. And then for clothes, I just did like simple black teacher-esque dress clothes, like a dress shirt, dress pants, and some boots. And then I added a watch, just for added effect, like just filler kind of, because he rolled up his sleeves a lot. So I felt like his type of aura and vibe just gave me, I'm old money, I would be wearing this kind of thing. So I end up adding it. The hairstyle you see on him now is the hairstyle I really, really wanted to make work, but I just could not find one, like a streak to make it work. So I ended up changing it. But yeah, most of Vad was definitely his hair though. It took me so long. I switch and go back and do different parts and different elements of him, and then I still end up going back to his hair. It just took me a while to get it done. He doesn't have any piercings that I know of, and he doesn't have any tattoos that I know of, so he also didn't get any tattoos. His character isn't as explained as Corvina's is in terms of like accessories. So that's why I feel like as a reader you have to imagine and you have to just picture it based on like the small details you get of him like being the old money kind of look. Which is weird because his character is adopted. It's all like, it all cycles back together, but it opens with him being adopted, like the novel does. So it was kind of interesting that he gave off those vibes. But yeah, it was kind of like just the vibe I got, and so I just kind of rolled with it and hoped for the best, and well, we ended up with the Vad that we see here. He is really tall and he was really muscular. A lot of the times that Corvina explained in the spicy scenes explained his body was him being muscular and very sculpted. So you see me giving him that sculpted kind of buff look. It's also mentioned that he goes to the gym, so that's why I stuck with that kind of vibe. I did give him pale skin. I just felt like it was him. It wasn't really like mentioned if he had pale skin or not. I don't remember, at least. But I just felt like that would have been him. And originally I was going to give him jeans because it was mentioned that he wears jeans quite a few times, but I didn't like how any of the jeans looked on this outfit and with the shirt and stuff. So I ended up doing the dress pants. But all in all, I really did like how his character turned out. I was really iffy at first, like very iffy. Oh, another thing that I added was the rings. I don't know if he wore rings. It's just the vibes that I got that he would have. So I added rings. So yeah, I don't know. It was just very, like, kind of feel for it. Like, feel the vibes and just go roll with it. So yeah, now we're just accessorizing him, and then we're going to move on to his aspiration and traits. So his aspiration was a little bit stickier. I did give him the soulmate trait too, because it kind of like falls in line with the prophecy of the novel for him. So the reason for his traits were because he was known for being by himself a lot, which gives the loner aspect. He exuded this powerful aura, so he was kind of always by himself. He was unapproachable, basically. I gave him night owl because he was always off going out at night or early in the morning before it was sunlight. I gave him music and bookworm because he was studying, that's what he was studying in school. And I gave him the jealous trait because he was jealous of the attention that Corvina would get from her male friends. So those are just the traits, and then you see me filling in like his likes and dislikes just to add a little bit of character dimension. But that's where we're going to wrap up the video, and I hope you enjoy. Let me know below if you like more of this content, and I will see you next time. Bye!